engage here, which I think they did sorely need, and it makes the obvious recon pick with the Poppy ban earlier a little bit less appealing in terms of the 2v2. Still a strong pick here, especially because they have a lot of different forms of engage and setup for this recon. It's just going to be a really much tougher lane for Lehens and Taeyun than I think they otherwise would have ended up with if it was the Nautilus.
Yeah, I also feel like this adds to what is kind of a pick composition here for DK as well. Be able to move over there, so Sponge able to lock that one down, as we do have a Zenith Blade to bring Career in, and there's the Realm Warp! As Showmaker immediately going to get knocked up. Lucid at pretty high health though, it's Career looking to make his way out. Showmaker actually surviving! As they do move their way in. This first grub is going to go Sponge's way, and he does still have Smite for the second if they would like to collect that. Can Lucid actually get in there? That's going to be the question though, as he should be in Smite range, not actually able to get it. As the Q doing a decent amount of work. Valkyrie off to the backside is now Kingen in trouble. Weaver's Wall for Scout very defensively, as now Career could be in trouble. A minion or two in it, and right now this wave has a few more for Showmaker, so it's going to be basically dead even between these two. As Kingen and Xiu just living on 50% health, as Xiu actually finding a decent engage there. As the ulti comes out from Kingen, the all-out going to be there, as there's the ult to come through from Sponge. They're looking to lock him down, and there it is. You can see Lucid in the area at the same time.
They don't have a really good angle to pick up a pick.
Zenith Blade goes in, Solar Flare, there's the chain CC, and down will go Lehens, and it is 3 in a row for Smash. More going to come of it. Kingen moves over, he should be able to take this minion
They're
wave.
Gonna give it up because there's no dragon here for, or sorry, no teleport for Xiu to teleport to the dragon.
Double crash actually comes in though, and we've got Rift Herald being thrown down in the mid lane. So DK, as far as cross maps, that's a pretty good one, but Kingen is going to be able to find Lucid here. Great knock up, the shove is there as well. He just needed one auto, but he could not get it. As Kingen still over 1,000 gold in the lead. Ooh, okay. Public Execution not going to quite connect here, as now Xiu looks for the all-out, does pull the Ambassador away towards Lucid here at the same time, but we've also got a fight in the top lane as Showmaker will be going down. Scout going to turn up, but a little bit late is now Kingen looking to try and stop this from being a one-for-one cross-map trade. As can he actually escape? That's the question. The answer is probably, but it's just going to take a little bit of time. Lucid's going to find a couple of autos, and there's the Q.
Turned into an Otacon. They saved the mid turret, so bought some time there, and then saved this bottom turret now, and don't really give D+ any ins to secure that. Unfortunately for them this time, there's no turret to take in exchange. Last time they got one right after the defensive group up. They won't be able to do that this time. Kingen?
Yeah, looking for an angle towards Kingen here. Does get sort of interrupted. The chains are layered, and Smash is able to take him down. Pop goes the Ambessa.
To defend that turret, still goes down. They weren't able to turn it into a dragon take there as it was spawning right when Kingen died. As this teleport is ambitious.
Yeah. Going very aggressive onto Career here, who should be going down. The Dragon will be secured here by DK, but the Infernal Chains are going to connect. That is a lot of damage onto Smash. He's still trying to walk it off those Lehens. He doesn't have the damage. He has to flash in order to pick it up, as their Showmaker should be able to get it done. Whereas elsewhere, Nongshim are tearing them to shreds. Smash and Career both dead. Lucid taken out, and it's only Showmaker left for the Wolves, as Nongshim will close in. Yeah, they get Soul Point, but I don't think it was worth it, as there is an ace.
It's not about that. It's more about the picks. It's more about cutting people off. The CC they have at this Talia Pantheon, the walls that can turn a 5v5 into a 5v2.
And the fact that Scout is so incredibly large. Kind of out of nowhere as well. 1.6k going to be his gold advantage just by himself. But all of the items have been stacked up here for Showmaker. He has that extra level 16. Has been picked up for both mid laners.
Xiu has teleport, so he can join this fight. We're going to see Pantheon go first.
Yeah, and engage onto the Leona isn't normally the thing that you want to do, but this time around it's going to work, as Taeyun's able to lock down that kill. Seismic Shove is going to miss, as there is the teleport in from Xiu. I don't know about that one, as he loses most of his health bar as he arrives. Chains of Corruption barely going to miss, as well as the all-out will be able to bring Kingen over the wall. Xiu flashing away. Another Seismic Shove is good, and this fight is broken up all over the place. Scout a little too far in, as Kingen wants to try and find Smash, but he's not going to be able to get there, and he will get taken out. Meanwhile, on the other front, it's Showmaker making his way out.
They need a straight up 5v5. Showmaker level 16, doesn't have his third item yet, but he is very big. And with the setup they have with his Aatrox, with Shojin's as well, I mean, Lucid is just a secondary frontline.
Yeah.
Arguably even bigger than the Cassante with his lifesteal.
He is a monster. All right, the Weaver's Wall going to come on through, but no one really caught out. Showmaker on the offside of this fight. Xiu wanting to be that frontline. Chains of Corruption is going to connect on. My god, the burst damage onto Sponge. Now Xiu looking to try and get in there, but he is so incredibly low. He will be able to cut two of them down. The Kasan team, man, which patch is this? Absolutely absurd play. As Showmaker now in that front line needs to be a little bit careful as the ulti comes in from Kingin. Can he be the Ambessa? Man, there's some release date stuff going on here. So it's a double for the top laner on the other side as well. Lucid trying to get something done as he dashes on in, but the rocks land on the ground, and it's an ace for Nongshim.
Massive dodge there on the Zenith Blade from Scout. If he gets hit by that, he dies. Of course, it would have still been the ace,
as he will be able to avoid being shoved back with the Unstoppable. Now Nongshim just splitting up, making it so difficult on the defense. Now Xiu has to do everything to try and avoid getting picked up, as in goes Korea, finding the backline. Solar Flare connects onto Kingin, but I don't know whether that was the engage they were looking for. It is going to be Korea going down, as now Lucid with the World Ender, not going to be able to get it done, and Xiu in that backline alone is not going to survive. It was optimistic, but it didn't quite work out. As now, speaking of optimism, that is Sponge going in and immediately going down. In this brush, it's actually a great position for him if they do decide to go for something. Is now moving in, looking for Taeyeon. There's the Solar Flare. The immediate cleanse is going to get him out of the way of the Zenith Blade. Oh, Taeyeon, that was almost game-losing, as Scout is going to make his way in. There's no one else here, though. He goes golden to buy the time and the space as the Chains of Corruption. They come down. It's a great knock-up there from Lahens, and it's Korea that falls. But that 1-for-1 is in favor of DK.
I think, D+ probably better off just trying to rush a Baron. I think trying to look for this fight would not be the best interest for them.
Well, they do see exactly what's going on as Korea goes in once again, but oh man, he looks squishy. The Solar Flare goes entirely wide as Lahens tries to get amongst it. Chains of Corruption go wide as well. Piercing Arrow is doing decent damage as now Kingin trying to do it again as smashes over the other side of the wall trying to stay safe, and Kingin will be down to the GA. Now Xiu needs to be in that front line as they will be realm warped away. And they do make it to safety. So it's GA for Korea.
I mean, D+ just keep hanging on. They just keep having these miracle defenses, but the Baron is going to go down so quickly here. They need to rush over as fast as possible. Showmaker's going to have to TP, and there's a ward for him to TP right there.
Yeah, this Baron, not exactly the lowest just yet. Xiu looking to try and get himself out, but the seismic shove, he's going to be there. Scout now throwing a bunch of rocks around this river.
They stop the Baron. Smash is doing massive amounts of damage in this game.
Yeah, and Smash, if he can line up a few more of these piercing arrows and find the poke, doesn't get it there.
You look at Nongshim set up here.
Kingin
caught.
Yeah, gonna get beat dove on top of us. There's the Chains of Corruption, Solar Flare as well, and the ulti doesn't land. The top laner will be wiped out as it's Smash that picks up another one. He flashes on top of him with the Mega Cone. Gets Scout to safety. Oh my goodness, now he doesn't have Flash available as well as DK. There is no Kingin on the map for 50 seconds. They're going to realm warp on top of the Baron.
And Sponge, he used his ultimate. He doesn't have it. He's going to have to walk over here slowly. They have no vision on this.
No Flash, no ulti available as the wall is going to come out from Scout. It does break the Baron apart as now Sponge goes in. Lucid trying to get on top of this. Wants to take down the Baron first. As DK, they will be able to rush it, and the smite is there. In goes Lahens, but out he goes immediately via the Death Chamber as Smash's autos are doing so much work, and Lucid on the flank angle. The shove is good as Scout goes golden, but Nongshim are falling apart at the seams. A 10,000 gold lead is not enough to take down DK in this one, as Xiu is able to get himself out of the way. Oh my god, the play in this team fight is absurd. And Smash, welcome to DK, we're happy to have you.
What a game for D+, an unreal comeback in this one. Defending time after time, punishing the greed from Nongshim. The game is not over yet, but we have 48 seconds on Taeyeon, and I think they should be able to muster up with this Baron a push to end. Nongshim only have King in here to defend. Lahens is about to respawn. Scout will have some additional wave clear, but if D+ do this time efficiently, I think they should be able to end it right here.
Yep, 3 versus 2, and the Baron empowering the minions here at the same time. There are tanky members, and as long as Smash stays alive, look at these turrets. They are getting chunked over and over. Chains of Corruption comes down, holds Lahens in place for a few moments, but it's the turret that they need to take. All right, there it is. The ulti comes out from Kingin, and now Sponge is turned up. They just want to rush down the base. Xiu, can you get the autos? That's the question. And the answer, I think, is going to be no, as Nongshim will clean up and I think this game is going to last a little while longer.
How does Smash dodge everything?
Really puts a spanner in the works.
Nongshim have the better pick comp, but if they mess up a pick, then D+ have a huge edge.
There's a shove. The Eclipse doing a fair bit of work, but Career is not that tanky.
Kingin?
Solar Play doesn't do anything, but now Kingin's in a lot of trouble. He's surviving, though, for the moment, as Lucid looking for the chains, and he doesn't quite land him. Lahen's able to battle dance his way out, and now Kingin.
So this last fight is going to be a banger, you have to imagine.
Yeah, let's see who's going to be able to do it, because right now the gold, not very relevant at all. As now Scout could be caught out of position, has to flash, but the teleport is going to be coming down right on top of him. There's a Cassante joining. He's pushed out the bottom wave as well. His Chains of Corruption are going to connect onto Sponge. Now the wall comes in, and there is the public execution from Kingin. Lucid trying to get that work done as the quickness holds him in position. He flashes to get out of the way. The redemption's there as well, but he will go down. Showmaker now able to be healed to get out of that seismic shove. But without Lucid, it's so much harder in these fights as Smash has so much less space. And 2 inhibitors have already bitten the dust.
Looks
the
like
third should be going
3.
down as well, exactly right. And now this game has become incredibly difficult for DK to win.
Showmaker looking for a little bit of damage on the side. You just want to clear these waves. Sponge going in.
They dash on top of him, but he breaks his arm guard to try and buy some time. Smash is relatively untouched. Another Chains of Corruption as Sponge is going to go down to his GA. These health bars are so low as Smash. He's able to get any auto attack he would like, but Sponge is going to survive. And it's Taeyoon that goes for broke. He's got the GA, and he can play so aggressively. Nexus turret number 1, and number 2 will be following as Showmaker realizes that it's now or never, and Smash will go down. Nongshim finally finish off this game in 45 minutes, but DK made him work for it.
Welcome to top 4 of KeSPA Cup 2025. I'll take about 8 more of those today.
My God,
and
what a game.
You know what? I mean, that was such a incredible, like in a loss, incredible performance from D+. Smash does 55,000 damage.
Oh my God.
Career finding these insane angles. Shiyu going down to, it's got to be sub 200 health in so many of those exchanges. That last fight.
See whether he's cooking anything up. We're waiting right until the very end, and there's the brawl.
He might also just be pre-shot calling the lane swap to them, because I think that what is likely going to happen is this will be a Scion in the bottom lane, and the Kai'Sa Alistar will head up against the Rek'Sai for Lucid either. But I really like how they utilize that early pressure. And if they had gotten a kill, it would have been even better. So we do see a wraparound here from Lucid. Wants to defensively gank here, but he is low on time. Like, this is a bit too thin for him to actually show up on time, and this is going to push Shiyu out.
Yeah, Shiyu is going to be able to tunnel his way to safety, though. The Tremor Sense giving the Rek'Sai a little bit of a heads up. As Taeyoon takes a turret. My God, the damage from that was absurd. As there's a knock-up onto Sponge. This is still 2 versus 3, so DK need to be careful, but Lucid goes in, flashes out immediately, as there's a knock-up, but it's only onto Lahen's. Career finally will show up. There's a knock-up as well with that Pulverize, but now the rest of DK looking to chase after them. Another flag and drag, but doesn't get the knock-up onto Lahen's. And the flash forward from Shiyu. First blood goes to the Rek'Sai, and the turret does not get mad at her.
And unfortunately for poor Taeyoon, will end up losing out there.
What about poor Showmaker, who is going to flash? Sponge gets the knock-up at Career right here in time. And Sponge is going to get stunned up finally. No, never mind. It is going to be a cancelled auto attack. But as you can see here, Showmaker, no flash, but will be able to at least survive. As Lucid looking to make his way in.
It's been a while.
Brethren is looking a little low.
It's been a while since we've commentated Career directly. I mean, not in this tournament, obviously, because we've commentated several games with him there, but he's looking like just a completely different player than his time when he was on DRX. So Sponge, another former DRX player himself.
Yeah, Career, speaking of which, is going to be able to find Sponge here. Lucid is delivered towards the Xin Zhao, but the turret is going to help take him down. The Jarvan well, and so it looks like these grubs should go over to Nongshim, even though DK will have full information of it. At least the first couple should be here in the hands of Sponge. Career, we got to clear out this ward, but you can see Smash a little bit far away from this. Last grub to fall. Now Career, only level 4, doesn't have that Glacial Fissure, as now Sponge could be the target. No knock-up to come on down, as there's the ulti. out of this Xin Zhao. He gets stunned up. The rest of Nongshim do come on over, but that is just Lehen's put into the meat grinder. Sponge could be in trouble as well as the culling point blank. But Emperor's Divide to try and save the Demacian Prince. As out will go the Xin Zhao, but the knock-up is going to be there, and Jarvan puts him in his place.
Tracking, Sponge doesn't have his flash yet, goes for the flash there. No ult here for Scouts, needs to be careful. He doesn't have his flash back up, but he is pushed up super hard. Like, Career wants to fish for this, and Scout's going to come over too, actually.
Does need to be careful, but has the Unbreakable. It's going to eat a lot of damage. There's the Glacial Fissure, able to stand beside Xiu to get himself out of there. Flash not even needed here out of Korea.
And in the bottom side of the map, Smash is still just chilling, right? So if D+ can prevent any sort of incidents from occurring up here where Taeyun gets a kill, they just end up winning out and neutralizing this top 3v3. Smash is just enjoying his life in the bottom side as he continues to attack his calls. Here comes another engage from Sponge.
Oh, Lucid's interrupted though, can't flag and drag his way out of there. Xiu looking to just play defense where he can. Scout comes in, there's the Emperor's Divide, but the flash is used to get Xiu out of the way. Flag and drag for Lucid, the flash out from Korea, and now Lucid has to try and keep himself safe. It's not quite working though, as there's the Crescent Guard to deliver the Jarvan some justice, but now Smash has turned up. Taeyun very dead as Sponge is flashing himself the heck out of there. He will be able to survive at least for the moment, but they do get vision on this Xin Zhao. Kingin moving over Smash, you have to be so careful, buddy. And the Q is going to be spotted. He flashes immediately.
Nongshim will be the winners of this in terms of objective. They'll be able to take up the Rift Herald that has just spawned here on the top side of the map. But it was a big defensive win there for D+. Smash picks up a second kill. His cult isn't even completed just yet.
Oh, Showmaker does find the shockwave, and there it is! Just blows him up! Lying in wait was the Orianna and just does a pirouette, takes down the Pigeon. All right, now Lehen's is in a lot of trouble as well as Pop goes the Weasel, and that's a double.
Take out this mid turret, great siege setup, and Xiu's on the flank.
Yeah, Sponge in a lot of trouble now as everyone's just encircling this Xin Zhao, knocked up to the skies forever and will be taken out. But Kingin is making his way in. Korea, they're just going to split the Red Sea, as it were. And the Q is going to connect there onto Smash. Xiu taking a lot of damage as Taeyun also, he cannot walk up. And all right, Rift Herald going to be thrown towards this mid lane. DK, we'll see whether they can defend as the ulti was trying to catch Lehen's, and he does get knocked up there by Lucid. The Unbreakable Will is down though. Only level 1, so it's not exactly mitigating all of the damage. And now Shockwave is going to collect the cow. Down he will go as the Dissonance comes in. And Lucid makes his way out as well. Crescent Guard is helping out here, but it has to wear off, and Smash is going to help Showmaker grab that kill. Now Taeyun with Killer Instinct is trying to help take down Showmaker, who flashes and gets himself to safety. They take down Taeyun, who just over-aggressively plays it out one more time. The barrier from Smash that he saved from before is going to be used to keep him alive. And now it's the Void Rush from Xiu. He explodes the Azir, and this is the D+ we wanted to see showing up here for game 2.
It's a massive win in the fight for D+. They will get aggroed here. Xiu's wrapping around, but Nongshim really looking for a scrappy fight that they could split up here with Scout's ultimate.
Yeah, the Otacon is going to lose patience though, and will be backing away, spinning a whole bunch onto Korea. Actually does a fair bit of damage.
I think this is the best chance Nongshim have to get back into this game, to try to force an uncomfortable fight here. Xiu's flank, though, still continues.
Yeah, and Lucid can always start a fight as well.
Scout's the target.
Yeah, Kingin taking massive amounts of damage as well. And he needs to be healthy as he wants to be that front line. As in goes Xiu, looking for the knock-up onto Scout. He'll find it, but the Emperor's Divide throws the Rek'Sai away. Now Xiu trying to escape. Down will go the Alistair to start this fight off as Taeyun having to get himself out of there. He will survive, and Xiu gets right in there. Finds the Kai'Sa, and then she gets wiped out. It is the Rek'Sai falling, but at what cost, ladies and gentlemen? As Scout is now lying on the ground. It's a triple for Smash. Make it a quadra as they ace Nongshim and look to push this inner turret, take the Otacon, and set up for Seoul.
It's looking like they're setting up for a third and final game in this series. On top of it all, 45 seconds until the Seoul you just mentioned. Down goes King, and Showmaker takes him out. No flash needed.
You might be saying, Nongshim, why are you walking in to try and fight this? You have no right to do so. Well, if you give away the Soul, you may just die. It's only Lehen's that's caught by that Shockwave. That could be a big deal because that is a large cooldown. Oh my god, maybe the Dissonance is the cooldown they need to be worried about because that chunked them out. Now Scout taking a full culling, and he gets behind Smash. They will be able to find it, but the Azir will be falling down as well. The Rek'Sai, in the meantime, is towards that bottom side as Lehen's just goes too deep. And Nongshim not even allowed to take their own jungle camps, as it turns out. They should at least be able to clear out some vision here.
The big
Lens
thing,
gets control ward down.
Yeah, the big thing is that Xiu does not have teleport. They know that, so they can actually posture around this Baron pit. It will potentially cost them that inner turret. If they can't get anything back decisively here, 5v4 around the pit, then they will lose out long term as Lucid is the target.
Yeah, Headbutt Pulverize does come in. He's in the bouncy castle, but oh my goodness, the shockwave! And Taeun has to try and use that killer instinct to survive. It's a 3-man Emperor's Divide, but Taeun is just dead. And Kingen, he's the last one left standing, but he is nowhere near the fight. And DK, I think they're looking to deliver us to that game number 3 right now.
It's probably a little bit in the back of their mind, the near finish of the game from game 1.
Yeah.
But this time, it's a much better scenario for them. This time, they've got the whole squad and enough damage to boot. Kingen, the only one who could try to defend here, and he is just not going to be able to do it, even with the triple knockup. That Nexus will disappear, and D+ will bring us to a 3rd and final game here of our first series. Impressive showing from them. Remember, they almost came back from a 10,000 gold lead in game 1. With a lead themselves, they were just not going to let go.
Yeah, that was an absolutely ridiculous amount of decimation there for D+ Kia. Looking absolutely fantastic. POG, going to be a little bit of a question mark here, as I kind of want to give it to Korea. But maybe it just has to be Showmaker, who looked so incredibly good on the on his Orianna. You can see topping the damage numbers there at the same time. Yeah, Kingen,
I think this is the best. I think this is the best case scenario for Kingen in this type of draft, and he has the extra protection and global of the Galio. Would have liked a little bit more damage in the mid lane, but this is a pretty safe pick. Ari with the Lulu kind of works here, but you do not have any frontline in this draft here for D+ Kia.
Yeah, I'm a little bit
GP
worried.
Hits a barrel chain in the mid to late game, and anyone gets hit by it, they're basically out of the fight.
Well, let's see what Korea does end up locking in for Showmaker here. And as the clock ticks down, it will just be locked away. The Ari never really inspires a lot of confidence. I feel like it's a little bit of a lukewarm pick and has been over the last few months. As these parlays starting to add up. Kingen looking for a little bit of a back though, as we can see. Sponge holding onto the wave. And with the Lee Sin on the top side of the map, this could be very, very difficult. Lahens is going down so incredibly low, though. The bailout is almost going to save him as Korea flashes out of the way, and Taeun will survive.
Lucid is up here.
Yeah, Sponge is in the area as well, so Lucid going to cancel that back. And let's see what they can get done. Full information as Lahens with the bailout is going to have to flash still, and they take down Taeun. Now Lucid looking for Sponge, who also has to flash. And Nongshim kind of fall apart at the seams.
Yeah, that was a really ambitious move there from Lahens. He may be
dead.
dead.
Lucid's going to find it again. The Tempest crippled to take down the Renata. Looking at these grubs. Kingen moving up does have Cannon Barrage up and available. And so can influence this. Might be that DK are just going to opt out. Lucid is going to be rotating over. Spotted on this ward, does have level 6 up. And Supreme Display of Talent is going to be there for Sponge as well. Korea and Smash moving on in. Korea with that Wild Growth not yet available. That could be a big deal, as now Lahens going down pretty low. Lucid goes in. Charm is going to connect, and oh my goodness, the Orb of Deception damage is absurd. Sponge going to be going down first as Showmaker in this backline. Make sure that no one can escape. And the Orb of Deception again for the true damage. Scout this time has to flash to safety, but look at Lucid. The thing that I'm focusing on is the fact that, like, after a very forgettable game 1 on the Rise, that Ari performance in that last team fight was basically perfect.
Yeah, and this is what I was talking about with the Ari. Like, if you charm the Kiana, she just dies, as Kingen may just die as well.
Yeah, Smash does not care about barrels at all. This GP is dead. Smash locks it down.
They don't commit further, but Kingen is not farming, and if King is not farming, their only remaining late game win con is just not a thing. They're 4,000 gold behind. Here goes Xiu.
Yep. They do manage to get the Fates call. Xiu could be in trouble, but Korea's going to make his way in, and there's a gorgeous Wild Growth. Xiu flashes out of the way to avoid the hostile takeover, and that is a dead Renata. No bailout there for Taeun, as well as that wears off, and now it is Battle Lulu looking to destroy him, and it's the Callista falling down.
Career's making this bot lane dude look washed, man. He's just showing up, making moves here, tricking them. Now Kingen, I mean, he just cannot farm. Smash is going to get the whole turret. Kingen is probably just going to die again. He's going to maybe need the Galio.
Oh, Sponge is going to get in here. Smash has to dash his way out of here as Q is going to connect. Lucid realizing he's not going to be able to save his AD carry, and he also may not be able to save himself.
But there's a hole in the mid lane. There's a hole in the top lane.
Oh God, he's looking to just kill Sponge. There were 3 people here. And the
He got his
redemption,
flash. Does he hit
okay. Another Q, not going to land.
Oh, but look, they're getting the top turret. They're getting the mid turret.
Lucid's just fighting as many people as are here. He takes down the barrel, gives him a thumbs up, and Kingen realizes there is nothing he can do. The kill's going to be delivered to Showmaker.
This is looking like T1 versus Team Japan.
Oh my
in this
gosh.
game. This is, you might just get poked.
Well, she was fighting against Kingen here. Cannon Barrage going to be thrown on in.
This is like the one place they can win a fight, is in the top 1v1 solo.
Look at Lucid. He can just do anything he likes. Supreme Display of Talent does come down. I may have cast curse him. Never mind. He finds a double knockup. Fate's Call comes in to at least save Lahans, but it's the Q to fly on out. Lucid even survives as Lahans, he's out of options. No bailout for you, good sir, and they'll even take this turret.
Xiu gonna get the stun here on the Kingen, and there's a TP behind him.
Yep, Kingen realizing that he just has to go for it. He flashes and picks up the solo bolo. The turret will be able to finish him off with a little bit of help from the minions. Yeah, Sponge in a little bit of trouble as Scout is going to try and make his way out of there as well. Nongshim will be able to vacate, but the problem is they're leaving a turret, and that is just going to be taken down here by Showmaker. Snowball be a rolling. And DK, not wanting it to stop Supreme Display of Talent, does find a little bit of a snare onto Lucid, who goes in, looks for Sponge. Wild Growth is there. The kick comes back, and the bailout is not going to be enough. Taeun once again goes low as Lucid stays alive. He's going to be able to help pick up a triple kill for Sponge and Kingen. I mean, he's out of options. There is nothing he can do. He's the pirate that tried, but he's the pirate that's going to fail in this game, as that is a Quadra to be picked up as the ace comes in at 16.5 minutes.
D+ getting it done here in an incredibly decisive Game 3. We're still at 16 minutes in. Taeun's lack of cleanse, man, just gave me a heart attack there when Showmaker, when they did not look for the flash, just looked for the Q.
Oh, Winds of War going to deny it back here as Smash is just thrown in auto after auto. The handshake probably not what they were looking for as he finds that Arc of Ruin. And Lahen's now in trouble. Showmaker dashing on forward. He's committed the ulti, and that is going to find him the kill. Flashes out. There's the double as the bailout will wear off, as I don't think it's stopping anytime soon. As Xiu going to try and take down Kingen here. We'll see whether Kingen's going to be able to stay alive in this 1v1, as Xiu doesn't even care about the Cannon Barrage, as he's just going to jump on him, holds the leap strike. And Kingen, no flash, no chance. And this game is just feeling completely over. Almost unplayable here for Nongshim at this point in time. 10,000 gold and a little bit of change, as Lucid can just kind of do whatever he likes. Walking on over. The back is going to come through there as there's the kickback onto Sponge. Sponge, it's Scout.
For him to farm, every move he makes is on CCTV.
Yeah.
D+ have the whole jungle covered in control vision. And they can just kite back to this recently spawned Otacon. It's crazy that we're only 20.5 minutes into this game. It feels like we're 30 plus with all the items on these characters.
Oh god.
Smash!
Yeah, Lahen's taking way too much damage here as the autos are flying through. Showmaker freshly teleporting back in. There's the Supreme Display of Talent to come on through there, as at least there's a ragdoll on Smash, but he's able to flash his way out of there. Wild Growth not going to be quite enough as it's Sponge that goes down, but now Lucid's turned up. The real carries have arrived, and the bailout's going to do nothing at all for Taeun. It's a triple for the Lee Sin.
Farm. They don't need someone in the top lane right now because they just have such a lead, as Lucid is looking for a flashless kick here into the back line. Kingen is zoned away.
And if you just walk in behind them, there is a possibility that you can just land the kick in the right angle, as Kingen at least is able to get some parlays down, but the safeguard's helping here as Supreme Display of Talent does come in. Xiu is the target though, and he finds a 3-man counter-strike. Taeun's bailout barely even existed, and all 4 of them evaporate. Kingen has to flash and does some piracy funny business in order to escape, but now he's back on a minion wave, and I don't think DK really care. They're going to break open the base here in the mid lane and just look to finish this right here, right now, and book themselves a ticket to the semifinal.
This is D+ dominating this best of 3. Feels like they won it 3-0 with how game 1 went. Kingen, the last to die, and D+, they had the easier group. We weren't sure what to expect, but man, did they show up in a massive way here.
Yeah, trying to work out who the POG is going to be. I think for flashiness, it's got to be Lucid. There is one, like a little bit of an idea, perhaps, for Korea, who was just there for absolutely everything this game. But when the Lee Sin play looks that sexy, I think you just have to give it to him. And so I think I'll be joining you there, Wolf, on the jungle vote.
Might lose his unanimous, but he also maybe gets a few stray votes because that Aura performance was pretty insane. His lane dominance, where he got 25 CS up on Scout with no jungle intervention, was pretty crazy.
Korea finally shows up. He was just busy picking up the last few kills in the game, and then finally does join them for the bow.
Yeah, he forgot you actually have to go do this on stage. He's been doing all of his winning online up until this point.
Damn, what an incredible performance there from D+. As Smash picks up 30k damage. Taeyeon looking a little bit lost here today, unfortunately. And he'll need to find himself. He's got a best of threes time to do it, as HLE versus T1 will be occurring soon. But after that, they are straight back on stage to fight for their lives here in the KeSPA Cup.
And you're playing against Pays or you're playing against Gumayushi there in that matchup.
Yeah.
So